Some children showed up in a small English village with skin as green as Elphabas from Wicked and started speaking in tongues. This is one of Britain's strangest medieval legends, blending folklore, history, and a genuine mystery that has never been fully solved. This is the story of the Green Children of Woolpit. The story dates back to the 12th century during the reign of King Stephen or King Henry II and was chronicled by at least two medieval chroniclers who are considered credible historians of their time. The story takes place in the village of Woolpit in Suffolk, which takes its name from the Old English meaning wolf pit, named after the deep trenches that were dug to trap wolves. According to the legend, two children, a boy and a girl, were discovered near one of these pits, but there were several things that were quite bizarre about them. Firstly, their skin was completely green, they seemed to be speaking an unknown language, and their clothes were made of an unfamiliar material. As well as this, they seemed to refuse to eat any food except raw broad beans at first. The villagers took the children in, and they were eventually cared for by Sir Richard de Calne at his manor in Wykes. Over time, the children adapted to eating normal food, and as their diet changed, their skin began to lose its green colour. Sadly, the boy became sick and died not long after arriving. The girl survived and eventually began to learn to speak English. Once she was able to communicate, she revealed an astonishing story. She claimed she and her brother had come from a land called St. Martin's Land, a place she said was of eternal twilight, where the sun never fully shone. This land, she claimed, was entirely green, and everyone there had green skin like them. She explained that one day they had been herding their father's cattle when they wandered into a cave. Inside the cave they heard a strange sound and followed it through a tunnel where they emerged into blinding bright daylight which disoriented them. When they tried to go back, they couldn't find their way home, and that's when they were discovered. As for what then happened to the girl, the story goes she remained in England and was eventually baptised before becoming a servant in Sir Richard de Calne's house. She apparently later married a man from King's Lynn in Norfolk. Some sources even say she took the name Agnes and married one of the king's ambassadors, although there's some dispute over this part of the story. So did this really happen? While the legend sounds fantastical, historians have tried to find rational explanation. One theory is that the children were Flemish immigrants whose parents had died during the civil conflicts during King Stephen's reign. Many Flemish settlers were massacred at the Battle of Fornham in 1173, not far from Woolpit. The children may have fled into the forest and there become malnourished, which could explain their green skin, which can be a symptom of chlorosis caused by a bad diet. This theory suggests their strange language might have been a Flemish dialect unfamiliar to the locals. Some others believe the story is more of a medieval folk allegory, symbolising the integration of foreigners into English society. The children start as outsiders, adapt and are eventually baptised, symbolising the assimilation of migrants. It's worth noting that this theory that St. Martin's Land could be referring to Saint Martin of Tours, a patron saint associated with kindness to strangers and beggars. And of course, as you'd expect, there are some wilder, more outlandish theories about the children wandering in from a parallel universe, or from a hidden world underneath the earth. The Green Children of Woolpit remains one of medieval England's greatest unsolved mysteries. Whether it was a real event distorted over time, a folk tale with a hidden meaning, or something truly otherworldly, it continues to fascinate historians, folklorists, and paranormal enthusiasts alike.